Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Obviously, if you've been into PC gaming for the last, want to say, 24 months or so, one of the big stories has, of course, been the PlayStation titles coming to PC, while Sony has definitely not gone the Microsoft route of just dumping everything onto PC, making it super accessible, offering Game Pass, etc., etc. Sony, for a long time, I don't think anyone was really expecting to see premier AAA exclusives on PC. Obviously, you saw the odd Helldivers and things like that. But as far as big budget games, your Horizons, your God of Wars, I don't think 3 years ago a lot of us were expecting that. However, that is of course happening and things are taking shape very quickly. Thankfully, a lot of the people that play on PC supported those games. Those games ended up turning out pretty well outside of Horizon, which definitely had some issues at launch, but even that seemingly did commercially well, and God of War just seemingly did gangbuster numbers, especially because that game was a tremendous port, and God of War is just a very, very highly revered IP, and you're talking about a game that came out on 4/20 of 2018, coming to PC 4 years later. It's being priced at $50 and people still bought it. What that leaves us with is a situation where PC is a very profitable venture for Sony to offer their games on. Now, whether we're gonna get day one games on PC, that probably won't be happening anytime soon, but honestly, I wouldn't put it past at some point, us getting to that point as well. I know that it seems unrealistic right now, however, again, it being something that PlayStation games were even on PC was unrealistic a few years ago. I digress. What I want to talk about in this video is a new job listing that was pointed out on social media, Reddit, Twitter, that I find very interesting, that Sony is looking for a senior director in PC planning and strategy at PlayStation Global in the United States. Now, if you go on over to the role overview section, this is what's really interesting and a lot of elements that I think some people might get concerned with, but let's talk about it. It notes a successful candidate will be responsible for the strategy and commercial activity within global channel sales and will deliver a single optimized PC sales growth and commercial plan to hub and territory teams to implement, identifying future sectors and partnerships for commercial growth. The plan should support the delivery of the agreed global channel sales critical metrics. To do this, they will lead collaboration with partners such as SDCS leadership, GSBO Hub, and territory leadership, etc. Responsibilities, this is where I think a lot of people are putting focus into. Lead PC growth and commercial strategy, okay, growing PC MAU for PC content, develop and implement global PC store strategy and processes. We'll talk about that in a second. Liaising with all relevant collaborators to agree activity, ensure activity supports delivery of relevant important metrics, deliver PC budget and all revenue targets, work with hub and territory teams to ensure delivery of activity plan and growth within regions, build and grow global commercial PC partner opportunities, PC growth strategy and sales execution through global PC storefronts. They note Epic and Steam. Identify promotional incremental sales opportunities via data-driven insights and developing go-to-market plans in partnership with marketing. Some domestic and or international travel may be required. All right, we got that. Obviously, a lot of focus in the develop and implement global PC store strategy and process. I think a lot of people are thinking that there might be a PlayStation Store that is like the Xbox app, that's like Epic Game Store, but for PlayStation titles on PC. And there's a couple of schools of thought that you could think about when talking about that. Obviously, if you want to get the most commercial sales for a game possible, it's just gotta be on Steam. That is just the be-all, end-all of selling your game on PC. Steam is just gonna offer you so much more promotional muscle, and it's gonna come to a point where Steam is literally going to be the make or break for some people, and there's so many games to play that, for some people, obviously, a game, they'll be swayed to go over on the Epic Game Store and play a game, but look at how much buzz the Final Fantasy VII Remake had on PC. Not that much at all. Obviously, it was a train wreck of a PC port, but it still didn't have that much buzz. I guarantee you when the FF7 Remake drops on Steam, even if it's still not a great PC port, it is going to have a healthy level of buzz around it. it, just because that is the difference that Steam makes. Now, obviously, in the case of Xbox, they offer their games on Steam, but they also have the Xbox app where most people go to sign up to Game Pass. That's a little bit different because that's a subscription model that offers so much value that people are going to go there anyway to take advantage of that value. Is a PlayStation storefront going to give you that value? PlayStation Now ain't going to be, offering day one games, although that is something that they could look into given that PC games are coming out of delay anyway. But then you'd also have to think about the fact, hey, it shows that we could sell God of War for $50. Why are we going to give it on a $10 a month subscription service or whatever the case may be? There's a lot of factors to think. I just don't think a PC storefront for Sony would be commercially effective. I just don't think. I think you would rather release your game on Steam, or, as much as people are gonna hate to hear this, this is the reality. You take an 8-figure paycheck from the Epic Game Store and you just put the game exclusive there for a year, get your 8-figure check, throw your game on Steam a year down the line or whatever, however those agreements work. 7-figure, 8-figure, I don't know. But I think that's going to be more commercially effective than Sony going its route and being like, hey, come to our storefront, buy our games here for $50, and we get to keep the lion's share of all the money and whatever, and Steam or Valve doesn't get their cut. I just don't think that's going to be that effective. However, the route of getting a big paycheck from the Epic Game Store, you don't really care about the game sales numbers at that point. Or just dropping the game on Steam and the game, a God of War sells 1 million or 2 million copies in 36 hours or 48 hours or whatever. That's an effective model I can get behind, and that's what I think would be the most effective commercially. But that's just hearsay by me. I don't have numbers to back any of this up, but I just look, if past this prologue, we saw what happened with the Bethesda store. Is the Rockstar store really making a lot of progress? I mean, GTA is on there exclusively, but yeah, I just don't see that making a lot of work. Is Uplay Connect doing a lot of work? And based on what I'm seeing on social media, everybody's just like, bro, not another storefront. But also, I think a lot of people just don't care anymore, in the sense that, okay, put those games on your storefront, we're just not gonna buy those games. You know, I think that's what it's come down to. It's not even like, oh, this game's announced for an Epic Game Store exclusive. Okay, we'll just wait. Not a big deal. And if it is a big enough title, okay, this is one that I'll make an exception for. I'll buy it. And then some people are cool with using EGS. They offer all those free games, whatever. For me, I have Epic Game Store installed. It's not like a lot of those games interest me right now to play. FF7 Remake is on there. Neo The World Ends With You is on there as far as JRPGs go. Kingdom Hearts is on there. Those games interest me. I also have a PlayStation, so I just buy all those games on PlayStation, so that doesn't do much for me either. But, you know, if, like, the next Witcher was an Epic Game Store exclusive, which it looks like it won't be, but let's just say a game of that caliber, okay, that could sway me over, but you're talking about wild financial agreements at that point, being, just to get my dollar on the Epic Game Store. I don't know how much that would be, how incentivized Epic would be to do that. But as far as PlayStation, I really do believe one day, maybe it won't be in the near future, we're gonna get day one games on PC. I just think there's so much money to be made. You could also make the argument that the Rockstar model of releasing a game on console and then getting people to double dip 12 to 16 months down the line is a more effective strategy for Sony to go, and it may be. You know, there's all these different strategies you could go with. There's the option of making your own storefront. There's the option of taking the big paycheck from Epic Game Store. There's the option of putting your games on Steam on a delay, and then there's the option of putting your games day one on Steam and PlayStation. And I really don't know which would be the most effective, but I do believe that there's multiple effective options for them to go with. I just think them creating their own storefront would be the least effective option. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree. I'll be interested to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. But that's going to do it for me. As I said, sound off in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.